Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at BellisioFoods.com/careers.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Good morning, everyone. Hey, look! We're not going like this. James, did you fix it?
I bought something that fixed it.
He bought something that fixed it. Thank you, James. Knock on wood. All
Looks
right.
good.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV. And it is Thursday, and we're mixing it up a little bit because we have so much news going on. Ohio Hill Country Festival going on. Homegrown Happy Hour tonight at Rowdy's. Also, Chamber of Commerce in downtown Jackson having a ginormous street festival down here. So we have so much to talk about. And so Jeremiah was so kind as to volunteer or get volunteered.
Voluntold.
Actually, he got voluntold. Yes, definitely. He can sit there and look like, I volunteered, but no, he just got.
I want to hear that impression of me again.
Hey, you think you could come in and do some news tomorrow? That's what I got from
James.
Mr. Hamilton over there this morning. So we got a stack just like Pete would. So I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, but no, there is so much. Tis the season for so much stuff going on, getting
always a
back
busy
into
month.
school,
Yes.
getting the fairs and festivals, these fall ones going.
Yep.
And such a, it's just a lot of fun. So I guess I'll just kind of leave you to it. And I'm looking at Dylan and I'm looking at you, and neither one of you have any shrapnel in your foreheads. So
No, we're doing okay.
the cannon thing must have been a go.
It did, yes. So we can start off with that. So the 2023 Wellston, Ohio Hill Country Festival opened yesterday evening. That was Wednesday, September 6th, with Hometown Day presented by Ohio Valley Bank. This year, the festival is celebrating its semi-centennial, which is 50 years. Now, the city of Wellston is also celebrating a special milestone.
Mhm.
It is celebrating the sesquicentennial, which is 150 years.
Good job.
And as a part of their 150th birthday, they had the cannon, the city cannon, which is located there at the intersection of Pennsylvania and Broadway.
Mhm.
They had it refurbished, repainted, and everything.
Looks really
And
nice.
It does. And last night, to mark the start of the hometown parade, they had that cannon fired, and we have some photos. Here's a photo that I was able to capture.
Well, I'm glad they had that roped off.
Yes,
there.
they had people stay back. This is a photo I managed to capture using some video and still technology there. But as you can see,
That's a good picture, Jeremiah.
it is a
Really
good picture. You can see the fire coming out the front end of the cannon, and you can also see it coming out the vent there on the top. Really neat photo. The gentleman that is firing it, his name is Rick Hewig, and he's from Sunbury, Ohio. He's a part of the 5th Ohio Light Artillery, and he had the honor of
official.
firing the cannon. He told me that he's been doing firings for 20 years now, Jan.
Well, he must know what he's doing. He has all his limbs and,
Yes. Yeah, and so he told me that this cannon did not have, has the top vent, but didn't have like the back because the back was sealed. So he had to fire it from the front. So It was done electronically, fed wires up in there,
Okay.
and then he had his wires, and I assume boom, and he even did the little. We got some footage that Dylan took from across the way. He had a different angle than I. I was standing on the corner there by BP in the background, and Dylan was across the way in front of Johnny's, which is Peking Cook there.
I hope you
and,
got some good Chinese while you were there, Dylan.
Well, Dylan can show the video of the cannon being fired
Yeah.
to mark the start of the parade here.
Love that.
Fire in the hole!
And I asked Dylan if he needed to check his pants after that.
Fell out my chair. Wait.
Yeah, no, this is good. You gotta play it again, Dylan.
Do it again.
One more time.
Holy crap.
Fire in the hole!
I like shook the whole street.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, play Jeremiah's Cloud to load it up and so.
Okay.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I think Dylan needed to check his pants
I
after
think so.
after the cannon being fired at him there.
Were you terrified?
Yeah, it did surprise me, that's for sure.
I
Yeah,
didn't think it
I
would be
jumped
like
a little bit
that.
too, but I don't know if I don't think my video jumped. And I was holding it by hand, Dylan. I didn't have like a tripod or
I mean,
anything.
your camera like literally moved.
Yeah,
All right, here I got.
a little closer.
Oh my gosh.
When I will say, while he's getting ready to fire this, he reached up in there with his thing that he uses to kind of load it, and realized that there was still something in there. There was like a pop bottle in the very back.
To fire the cannon for the first time in 50 years.
That they had to get out, so they had to get that out. But that was really neat to
Whoa.
see. To see that, it was quite a sight to see. A lot of people came, to
Did
the
they?
intersection
I'll
to check
bet.
it out.
Well,
And,
it is fascinating. You don't see a cannon, every day.
Right. And we have Tad Lockard. He's a Wellston resident up there. He sent me an old photo from when it was fired at the Centennial celebration in Wellston.
Oh, you're kidding.
So here's a photo of the cannon, fired,
So
it was 50 years ago.
Wow.
At the 100th. And Tad, it's kind of hard to see, but the little kid there standing near the sign, you can see the young man there. That's Tad Lockard.
How cool.
And standing there next to him with the black hat and the red vest, that is Dan Lockard Sr.
Oh, okay.
So you can kind of see him there near the station wagon. And there's a couple guys sitting on the cannon there. I don't know if they were sitting on it when it was fired or not.
That would
But
probably not be very smart.
I don't know. I don't have names for those gentlemen, but I appreciate Tad sending
is cool.
sending that photo along. But yeah, he's the young kid there standing by
Yeah.
the station wagon, and then there on the right, that is Dan Lockard Sr., his dad. And he says that this was a photo during the Centennial celebration there in the city of Wellston
How
when
funny.
they fired the cannon 50 years
And
ago.
you have the Sohio station. Do you remember Sohio stations? I
do.
bet you don't.
I do not.
I
Nope,
do.
I don't. So that's kind of funny to see because VP's back there now.
Yeah. But no, it used to be. Do you guys remember the days of like when you would pull into a gas station and someone actually came out and pumped your gas and checked your oil and washed your windows? It was like a full service thing.
There was I can remember when I first started driving, there was still some gas stations that would at least pump your
gas for you?
Yeah.
And then it just became all like self-service. Oh yeah, like when
Self-service.
you went to the gas station, you just pulled in, somebody came out and you said, fill her up or $10 or whatever. They washed your windows, checked the oil,
Checked everything.
did all of that fun stuff and got you going.
And got it going.
Yeah.
It's,
Anyway, I digress, but that was a thing.
so anyhow, that was the big thing, one of
You
the big
guys
things that
survived. I'm so
happened last
excited.
night that was really neat there in the city of Wellston. Some other stuff that happened down there at the Ohilco, they had the evening down there started off with the Mini Queens contest.
Okay.
This was something that they started a number of years ago now, and it's kind of I compared it to like a feeder program. Kind of gets those little girls interested in pageants, and then with the hopes that they'll try out, later for Little Miss.
So this is different than Little Miss.
Yeah, this is different. This one is more that it's a lottery is what it is. These little girls took a gamble last night. They just would pick out a flower. The flowers are covered with tissue paper, but the flowers are collared. So everybody goes and picks out a flower. You come down in front of the stage, and then everybody unwraps it at the same time. Whoever has the here's some pictures of some of the little girls unwrapping their flowers. Whoever had a certain color flower was the mini queen.
Okay.
And then you had 2 mini attendants.
I
have the winners of those. You can put on the screen, Dylan. As you can see, the co-attendants are sitting on each side, and in the center is the queen. And the mom was telling me she was like embarrassed, and I could not, for the love, get her to put her hand down from her face. So
bless her heart.
you have in the
How cute.
you have in the picture here. I have their names. Let me see.
She's just being shy.
She is being shy. That's all there is to it. So the mini queen had the yellow carnation, and the co-attendants had blue carnations. So from the left there, you have that is attendant Nova Hively, and then you have mini queen Harper Searles, and then you have the other co-attendant, which is Paisley Hively. And the 2 girls on both sides, they're sisters.
Oh, well,
one
that's
is,
lucky.
Yeah, how lucky is that
Right?
that they both got one of the flowers to be attendants? The one little girl on the left, she's 5 years old. The other girl is 4 years old, and the queen in the middle is also 5 years old.
How cute.
So that I always compared it to like a feeder program, kind of like the they have like the Pee Wee Little Leagues to get the kids
Cub
interested in
Scouts
sports.
and all
Cub
that
Scouts,
stuff, yeah.
to get them interested in the different things. So that kind of kicked off
How fun.
the festival there. As far as the contests go, and then we had the cannon fire, and then after the cannon fire, that I said that marked the parade. I believe we have some parade photos.
Oh, cool.
And Dylan's got some video too. You got the Grand Marshal. So here's the Grand
there they are.
Marshals. There's Vicky and her husband Rex. They were picked as the Grand Marshals this year. And Rex is involved in the Jim Bottling Company. They're actually celebrating their centennial, 100 years in business.
So cool.
And Vicky, she is a licensed family nurse practitioner. Owns 2 clinics here in Jackson County. One's here in town, and the other she just opened in Wellston a couple months back.
Very
we were
cool.
there for that ribbon cutting, and we just like to congratulate them. Did I send any other pictures, or do you just want to show your video, a little bit of your video? So here's a little bit of the video that Dylan got of the parade coming down. This is Pennsylvania Avenue there in front of Pekin Cook. You can see McWilliams Funeral Home there in the background.
Oh, yeah.
The Boy Scouts, local troop there, making their way down Pennsylvania Avenue. They had a number of units in the parade this year. You can see there in the silver car, there's your Grand Marshals making their way. And then you can see behind them, they have 2 trucks
Love that.
for
Yeah.
the gym
cream soda.
Yes. And then the ski pop, Wellston Water there, bringing Wellston Water, as we like to call it, coming up behind there. But it was
cool.
it was a good little parade. A lot of people came out for that. I know when I looked down down Broadway, it just seemed like there were so many people gathered down through there. I had snapped a photo that I'll probably use in the paper of that look down through there.
That's awesome.
After that, everybody gathered down at the Wellston VFW Post 9092 stage. That's the main stage this year, where they had the ribbon cutting. And I don't know if Dylan has the photo of the ribbon cutting or not, but
I don't believe so.
I think you do. I think you named it ribbon. Dylan. But it was the
That would make sense.
But the Grand Marshals, Rex and Vicky there had the honor of cutting the opening ceremony ribbon for the
Super
50th
good.
50th annual Hilco Festival, and that's the Ohio Hill Country Festival, Hilco for short. And After that, there was a few folks that came on stage. Wellston Mayor Anthony Brenner said a few words. Jackson County Commissioner Paul Hauer was there, said a few words, and they kind of introduced this year's royalty, and that kind of wrapped up the opening ceremonies. After that, I rushed down to the secondary stage, which this year it's called the Hosapple Family Clinic Bandstand, where they had the Coal Miner Olympics, which is something that they have had for as long as I can remember. I've actually participated in it. We used to have a team. It was called Team News Hounds. Oh, and it was made up of whoever I could get from the office to go with me.
Come with you.
And we participated back-to-back years, 3 years in a row. First year we tied for third. Then we got second the following year. And the final year we got gold, and we retired. And haven't done it since. Top. And so they had a number of teams last night. We had some pictures Dylan can probably put up on the screen of some of the activities.
What do you do in the Coal Miner Olympics?
So in the Coal Miner Olympics, I got a little information here on it. It's a annual event of competition and skill. And what it is they usually have a number of games. This year they had 4 games and a scavenger hunt.
Okay.
Is what they did. And this, the one he had up just a minute ago was one of the games. They had to roll a ping pong ball across the table and hope that it would fall on one of the cups that were taped on the end.
Gotcha.
So that was one of the games. This was one of the other games. You can see this is Caitlin Bright. She is the second attendant for the Ahilco this year, 2023. Her face covered in whipped cream here. On this one, they had a plate covered in whipped cream, and there was a piece of bubble gum in the whipped cream. So they had to sort through and find it. Then once they had it, they had to chew it up, blow a bubble to get, whoever did it the fastest would get points.
Hilarious.
So we have some winner photos from that, if you'll put those up, Dylan. Here is your first place this year. It's taking home the gold medal. This was Team Cheer 3. It was made up of Wellston High School cheerleaders. From the left there, you have Hannah Pearson, B. Myers, Allison Case, and Lindsay McCormick. They brought home the gold. And the second place, the silver medal, went to the Wellston High School volleyball team. You have Ellen Walters, Ella Hutchinson, Kate Wilbur, and Rylan Peters. Or Pelletier, excuse me. And then third place was a team made up of Ahilco Queens. You had from the left, that's your 2023 Ahilco first attendant, Kaylin Bowman. 2023 Ahilco second attendant, Caitlin Bright. 2024 Miss Ahilco Queen finalist, that is Allison Bowman, which is the little sister to Kaylin. And then there on the end, that is your 2022 Ahilco first attendant, Olivia Haggerty.
Nice.
So congratulations to all of them. And I will say that once the coal dust settled, all these, a lot of the teams this year, some years you have some folks, that are adults that compete in this, but it seems like the last several years, it's usually a bunch of high schoolers that are doing it. And it was a little warm last night, and they were all dying after the scavenger hunt.
I can imagine.
And I will say, I'm going to call them out. I lent out 4 pins last night. I only got one of my 4 pins back after the scavenger hunt. So I'm a little disappointed.
Do you remember who took them?
I do not. I got rushed because I started pulling pins out of my camera bag, and only one of them returned. So there's some pins laying around the Ahilco Festival.
Jeremiah's pins back. Come on.
Yeah. So that's a real quick rundown of all the events that happened up there last night. The entertainment last night was which I didn't send a picture of this, but it was the Naked Karate Girls.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
And they weren't girls, they weren't naked, and I never saw any karate.
But they sang something.
They did. It was they sang. People seemed to enjoy it. I thought it just sounded like a whole lot of noise, but I'm just gonna say it. Just sounded like a whole lot of noise to me. But I will say when I came by multiple times, it seemed like they had different outfits that they changed into throughout. Yeah. And one of the guys had a sign that he would hold up, and it would say, sing. and the crowd would sing whatever part. They did a lot of covers
Yeah.
of a lot of popular songs, and people seemed to enjoy it. I saw some people dancing and
Good. That's what
everything
it's all
there
about.
downtown. So that kind of wraps up the Ahilco for
Just
Wednesday.
noise.
Just know that today's Thursday, September 7th. We got a number of things going on up there. Starting at 6 o'clock, you got your Little Miss Ahilco Queen Contest Finals. So they had a top 5.
Okay.
They'll narrow it down to a top 3. Then we'll find out who the Queen in Court will be, along with the rest of the royalty, on Saturday night before the close of the festival.
Okay.
So that'll be taking place tonight. And then tonight's entertainment is Rick Kay and the Old Nighters, being presented by Total Media.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be there on the main stage
They're
at
a lot of fun.
7:45 p.m. So that is your rundown for today. And I think the only other thing I'd like to note on the Ahilco is don't forget about the fireworks on Saturday night.
Right.
So after they crown the royalty, they will be doing a fireworks display to celebrate with the Wellston, Ohio Hill Country Festival's 50th anniversary and the city of Wellston's 150th anniversary. So it was my understanding that the Wellston Centennial celebration was held,
Mm-hmm.
and then the following year was when they decided to kind of keep that
Mhm.
celebration going each year, and that's how
Right.
the Ahilco came about.
Yes.
And so that's pretty cool. That it's still
Still
going
kicking
strong.
50
And
years later.
I want to commend all the folks that are involved in that Wellston Ahilco Society. I guess the numbers for that, it's a very small committee nowadays.
Yeah, and it's not
of
easy to put on a
people.
festival like this.
And they have that festival throughout Railroad Avenue there. They have it on that part of First Street, Ohio Avenue there. And those folks just put a lot of work. I know I was talking to one of the members, and they said, that there was several late nights leading up to, them being up there till 3 a.m. in the morning, getting stuff set up ready for the festival. So
I would say
shout out to them. Still got a couple days left.
job.
You got tonight, you got Friday, and you got Saturday. There's only a whole slew of stuff going on Saturday. So
If you can you can either go online, you can pick up one of these programs that has all the schedule of events in it.
right.
Lots of stuff going
And I
on.
had some folks ask about the pricing for rides this year.
Okay.
So they had Eco Amusements is doing the mechanical rides. They got a
Mhm.
number of those, and they got a ton of inflatables up there
Yes.
this year. So it's a mix of those. Like Ohio Avenue is just full of rides and inflatables, and there's even a little bit on First Street there, and a little bit down this way on First Street. And somebody was asking me what's it cost. I found out last night from a committee member that it's $10 for a wristband. And
Okay.
that gets you unlimited rides and inflatables for the
nice.
day. So it's $10.
That's a good deal.
$10 a day for a wristband, and that gets you access to everything. And if you're up there and you're looking for like a ticket booth, this company didn't have a ticket booth.
Okay.
So these wristbands are being sold at the Wellston Ahilco Festival information booth,
Oh,
which is
okay.
located. It's located right next to the main stage. You can't miss it.
Just go where all the people are going getting their wristbands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. I'll share that information later because I had several people ask me last night. I think I mentioned it last night, but there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a rundown of that. So let's
Glad
get
y'all
into
survived the cannon.
Yes, I told a few people I didn't know how it was going to go.
I was terrified.
'Cause they said it had been 50 years since it had been fired. So
Oof.
I think that there was something wrong with it. They probably wouldn't have.
Good thing somebody got the
Fired it,
pop
but-
bottle out before they
Yeah, well,
fired
the
it.
gentleman that fired it, Rick, he had the thing that they push whatever back in there,
Uh-huh.
and he said when he pushed it back in there, he could tell that there was something
Something
still
in
up in
there.
there. Which I guess they had cleaned it out, or they thought they had gotten it all. But I don't know if somebody after that
I would
had
say
put
that's a fair
bottle
assessment.
up in there or what.
Be a
But
smart aleck.
yeah, but I did see a pop bottle fall out as they were trying to get it ready to go. So, all right, so that's enough about Ahilco. If you haven't been out, go out. You still got a couple days.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a little news, Jen.
Okay.
So earlier this week on Tuesday, seems like forever ago now,
I know,
for some
right?
reason. I feel like it's been a long week. So on Tuesday, September 5th, around 10:38 a.m., emergency personnel, were dispatched to a two-vehicle crash that involved a 2007 Freightliner semi-truck and trailer and a 2015 Nissan Versa. So this took place on State Route 32 between Kessinger School Road and Rice Road. And you can see the semi there. So the semi was traveling on 32 and it struck a parked, unoccupied vehicle.
Goodness.
Yeah, that was on the berm.
Oof.
So I don't know if did I send. Yeah, there you go. You can see on the back of the on the back of the tow truck, the flatbed there, the what's left of the car. Thank goodness nobody was in it. So according to the Ohio State Highway Patrol report, a Dorothy Crum, 66 of Texas, was operating the semi truck and trailer eastbound on State Route 32. Crum failed to maintain her lane, drove off the right side of the roadway. While Crum was traveling outside of the eastbound lanes of the State Route 32, she struck that parked, unoccupied 2015 Nissan Versa. It says Crum's truck continued eastbound after she struck the parked vehicle, and then she struck and later became stuck on top of the guardrail near an embankment.
Oof.
I'm not sure how much of a drop is over that embankment, but I feel like they would have taken a while to clean up whatever.
That could have been even worse than it already was.
Right. Jackson County EMA Director Rob Chikleski told us that roughly 20 to 30 gallons of diesel fuel were spilled in the dirt near the accident there. And he said that the affected soil was removed as a part of the cleanup. He did say that the trailer didn't have anything in it, so that was good.
Oh, okay.
It was empty. And that section of roadway was impacted for a period of 3 hours. The right lane of State Route 32 in the eastbound direction was reduced to one lane in that area where this was, while crews worked to safely recover the vehicles and clean up and investigate the scene.
Well, it's a darn good thing someone wasn't in that car.
Yes. And Crum's did sustain minor injuries as a result of the crash, was treated on scene by medics, and she was cited for failure to maintain her marked lane of travel. So, and they did make a note on here, patrol reminds motorists to never drive distracted and always wear their safety belts.
Okay.
So that happened earlier in the week, and I think we had that in our Wednesday edition.
Okay.
A little bit of crime news for you. I keep a list of criminals on my desktop to check on after they've committed crimes to see what happens on the court side of things, because like I like to say, the wheels of justice spin slowly sometimes.
Sometimes they do,
So it takes a while for stuff to finish.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to talk about here happened back in February. A Piketon man who was one half of a duo involved in a number of storage unit break-ins back in early February has been sentenced to 18 months in prison.
Was this the one with the white truck and the...
Yes, that happened.
Happened outside of our parking lot? Yeah.
Right. And here's the gentleman. This is Ralph E. Humphreys III, 43 of Piketon. He appeared in the Jackson County Common Pleas Court on Thursday, August 24th, where he withdrew his not guilty plea and pleaded guilty. He had been indicted on February 21st with 3 counts of breaking and entering, which were all felonies of the 5th degree. The other half of the duo, who was Mary E. Humphreys, 51 of Piketon, is scheduled for sentencing in the same courtroom actually today at 3:15 p.m., and she was indicted the same day as Ralph on the same charges. Okay. And yeah, there was a picture I think you had, Dylan, of a truck pulled over in the parking lot that I got. So this happened right out our front door.
Yeah.
Back in February.
We were all like, "What is happening out there?"
Yeah, and so there was a number of storage units that the pair had broken into, one of them being there on Burlington Road, the Jackson storage.
Well, the ironic thing was, this is something good about social media. Somebody that is in charge of those had posted a picture of that truck, and it's like, it was kind of a unique looking truck.
Right.
So this was several days later. They're driving down the middle of Main Street after it had been posted all over social media. So I'm not sure exactly what they were thinking, but whatever.
Yeah.
But they got caught.
So, yeah, they did. And they had taken several items from generator to weed eater to miscellaneous stuff. And they had ended up selling it at a flea market there in Pike County. And but anyhow, during this whole process, Mary basically told on Ralph and said, that basically she said, that they were at the storage unit. She stayed in the vehicle. She was supposed to be the lookout and tell him if anybody was approaching, I guess, but she wasn't going to do that. But there was just a number of stuff that they had stolen out of these. They were all these units were obviously locked, and they'd cut the locks and gone in and taken stuff. They'd also done some stuff, I guess, in Oak Hill as well that they learned of. And anyhow, that went through the court systems.
Okay.
And
well, it was kind of ironic for us because we had seen that on social media, and then we're standing here, we're like, wait, that's that truck,
right?
Like outside of our parking lot,
right?
So weird.
So after that photo there, they had been arrested and made their way through the Jackson County Municipal Court. Later, through the Jackson County Common Police Court, were indicted by the grand jury, and they had appeared for their plea hearings where he pled guilty and was sentenced, and then she's scheduled to be in court today. She had also changed her plea from not guilty to guilty, and she will be sentenced today. So I'll follow up on that as well.
Well, we'll see what happens to Mary.
Yep. I know we mentioned this the last time I was on, but we're going to talk a little bit about COVID again.
Oh, goody. I can't wait.
Yeah, I know last time I was on, we talked about the increase from July to August in the numbers. Like it was like 12 or something, and that was like 124 so far in August.
100 and something.
Well, Telegram editor Pete Wilson has wrote a story, did some research. He says this is on the Ohio Department of Health's website. Jackson County is, it says Jackson County tops in Ohio per capita for COVID cases.
Wonder why.
I'm not sure, but we are number one on that list of 88 counties. Lucky? Yeah. He says this was as of last Thursday, August 31st, which I checked it yesterday and it hadn't been updated. So I don't know if they update it from Thursday to Thursday or how often they update it. But as of Thursday, August 31st, the Ohio Department of Health is reporting that Jackson County ranked first in the entire state per capita cases of COVID-19, with a total of 119 cases for a per capita rate of 367.1 per 100,000 population. He said neighboring Ross County was second in the state.
Weird.
With 324.6 per capita rate. And Vinton County, which is also in our coverage area, ranked fifth with 33 cases for a per capita rate of 252.2. And so just wanted to kind of share that. Just be
vigilant. Just wash your hands. Do all the things that we're supposed to be doing anyway. And if you feel bad, stay home.
Right. So just be aware.
Not just tired, James.
Little business news I'd like to get into. I went on, I don't even know when I went. It's been the last week or so. Let's see, Friday, August 25th.
Okay.
It's all running together, Jen. I went to the Office Commons for they had it was kind of like, not like a ribbon cutting or anything, but kind of like an open house kind of deal. They have added an event center featuring a patio space. So this is the inside of the event center that can be booked. A little bit about the Office Commons. The Office Commons opened in December of 2012. It was originally developed to serve the special needs of startup organizations or satellite corporate offices that required office space but did not want a standalone office. Over a decade later, the Office Commons, it's still there, but it has evolved from individual office space to become a corporate office for clients, a meeting space for area organizations, and a gathering place for various functions. The business's latest endeavor is adding the small event center and patio space. And here is a little bit of the patio space. There's more to it there. It is available for rent to the community, and it is known as the Event Center at the OC. OC is Office Commons. And Larry Kidd, who is the business founder, told me that during COVID, we saw a need for people to gather outside, and they had this parking area near the building that they decided to convert into a patio area. And then later they renovated the inside next to the building to add the event center. He said the event center can be rented out for intimate wedding receptions, graduation parties. He said you could have anywhere from 50 to 75 people between the inside and outside. They're open to about anything. And he says there's a number of possibilities for the space as a venue. It can be booked during the day, evenings, or weekends, and is suitable for small corporate events, training sessions, client lunches, dinners, bridal, baby showers, and much more. Now, the inside of the venue, which Dylan had up a minute ago, you can't see everything that's there, but I can tell you what they have. They got a number of tables and chairs. There's 2 large couches. There's a small kitchenette area, but they told me that there's not like a microwave or oven or anything, but you could like prep food back there.
Okay.
There's 2 bathrooms, and on the wall, there was also a smart TV. The outside patio has a number of tables and chairs, and you also have the umbrellas, and you can see this space here that's a part of the patio with the fire pit. Surrounded by the chairs. They also have some games. In the other picture, you saw cornhole. In this one, you can see kind of like a giant Jenga looking game there on the table. And that was kind of the grand opening on Friday, August 25th. During that event, they had live music, they had free food and sweet treats, and they offered tours of the new event center and patio.
Cool.
So if anybody's interested in booking that venue, you can call 740-395-0470.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool to see them still going after all this time. Another new business story. This is up in Wellston. Wellston's downtown gained a new storefront after a family whose love for animals inspired a business venture. The business is really one of a kind for the area, as it is touted as Jackson County's only pet shop.
Oh.
So we've got a pet shop now in downtown Wellston, and I was there for the ribbon cutting. And you can see here in this picture, there's a number of different city officials, some county folks. Cutting the ribbon there is the one half of the business owner. That is Ashley Matthews. She and her husband, Erickson Dowler, is the owner of the business. The business is called Pet Pantry, and it offers pets and pet supplies.
Okay.
She told me that they have lived in Wellston since 2019, and they both really love animals, and said this area didn't have a lot of pet supplies. So they decided that that's what they were going to do.
Cool.
So they decided to open this storefront, and I think we have a picture of one of the you got the lizard, the gecko. Throw the gecko up there. This was this is called a leopard gecko, which is one of the many exotic pets offered at the new pet store. And when I snapped this picture, it kind of climbed up here and was checking out all the commotion after the ribbon cutting there.
Posing for your picture.
Right. It was very, very appropriate. The storefront's located at 112 South Ohio Avenue there in Wellston.
Aww.
The business will be open, and this is a albino hedgehog.
Yeah.
It'll be open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The business is closed on Sundays. It accepts cash, debit, credit cards. The business offers pet supplies for just about anything. They have a number of pets. The only thing they don't have, they said a number of pets. They don't have like cats and dogs, but a lot of the exotic stuff, such as snakes, tree frogs, geckos, hedgehogs.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for. I said this. I'm just waiting for one of those snakes to get out.
Oh no!
To terrorize the city. But they were all, you know, they were all in closures, you know, and they were, you know, so it should be fine.
It should be.
I will say that there's a pizza place next door, so maybe, you know, anyhow.
Have some steak pizza? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. So they as far as pet supplies go, they have about anything you could think of. They had pet food, treats, toys, enclosures, etc. The business can be reached by calling 740-855-4168. And they also are on Facebook. You can look it up, Pet Pantry.
Okay.
They got a real nice Facebook page that they seem really active on. Post a lot of pictures of the different pets they get in.
Cool.
So they did say that they're always open to suggestions. If someone has a need or a want, that they will try their best to accommodate.
And where's it located again?
It's located at 112 South Ohio Avenue. It's right across the alley from the former Rocket Pizza, which is the patio grill and suds.
Grubs and
Subs
or
now.
something.
Yeah.
Suds.
So it's right across the next door to that. So that opened on Friday, September 1st last week. So
Good deal.
congratulations to them. So staying up in Wellston on August 30th, I was up there for a Wellston Main Street meeting.
Okay.
Now, Wellston Main Street, they had this meeting to discuss the future of their organization. And I think we had a picture for that. Here you have, this is interim president, Sammy Perkins. And in the background there, that's Tina Strout. She was serving as the president and had served for close to a year, but had stepped down in July due to health-related issues. Sammy took over as interim president, but that still has to be voted on if she's going to be president.
Okay.
She was in the role of vice president, so she may stay in that role or switch to president depending on how the vote goes at the next meeting.
Okay.
Strout was on hand to help guide the meeting and provide insight about the organization. For those that don't know, Wellston Main Street does a number of things. They have a lot of events that bring people to the downtown businesses. Some of those include the Spring Shop Hop, the Shop Small in fall, which should be coming up here before we know it. Two of their biggest and longest running events that Wellston Main Street is responsible for spearheading is your Christmas treats on Wellston streets. And that began in 2016, and Celebration of Our Nation, which began the following year in 2017. That Celebration of Our Nation, when that happened in 2017, that was the first time in over a decade that fireworks had been launched over the city of Wellston.
Isn't that crazy? Wow.
That year. And then
That's awesome.
every year since then, they have had the fireworks. And that organization has been responsible for putting those on. And when I say that they had this meeting to discuss the future, you know, it's been around since 2016. It's a 501c6 organization, and its mission is to enact long-lasting positive growth for the downtown area. That downtown area is considered a historic district.
Okay.
And that organization needed the whole reason they met was they need help to move forward.
Yes.
The board, usually they have a board of 7 members. It's down to 4.
Okay.
So they were looking for a few more board members. There was about a dozen people that showed up, including those that are involved in the board. Involved in the board, you have Perkins, and you have Jason Holzapple. He's the treasurer. Misty Stump, who's secretary, and Donna Smith. She is one of the board of director members. And by the time all the discussion and everything took place at the meeting, there was at least 5 folks that were interested in joining the board. Another 4 that was interested in helping volunteer.
Cool.
And then I learned that following the meeting, at least 2 more were interested in joining the board. They typically meet the 3rd Wednesday of the month. However, it was decided that they needed to meet sooner than that to get this sorted out.
Yeah.
So their next meeting will be on Wednesday, September 13th at 6 o'clock. The location is to be determined. They will post on their Facebook page. And if I get that information, I will share it as well.
They do a lot of good.
They do. They do a lot of good. In addition to all the stuff that they do downtown, they also do, it says they do business coaching to current and prospective businesses, offer ribbon cutting opportunities for new businesses, pursue grant funding for projects to benefit the downtown area. One of the recent year projects that they done was they were able to get some funding for a project called Paint the Town, and some of the downtown businesses were able to have their storefronts painted.
Oh, cool.
Kind of spruce
That's
it up.
really
That's
nice.
been in the last several years. And they did say that, kind of the main thing of the meeting was to get people interested again and get some people back on the board so it was full and secure some volunteers. So at the next meeting, they'll be doing some voting on who will be on the board.
Okay.
So I guess I don't know how they'll handle that, but I'm going to try to cover that as well. But we wish them all the luck and going forward here. It just sounds, it's a lot of these organizations sound like they, have a lot of people that have suggestions, but nobody to kind of step up and help.
Yeah.
And they need the helping hands.
Absolutely. Just need some bodies, man.
So it's a little bit about that. Let's see here. So we received this from Wellston High School. On Tuesday, August 29th, the U.S. News and World Report released its 2023-2024 Best High School Rankings. And it says the report ranked 17,680 out of approximately 25,000 reviewed public high schools at the nation, state, and local levels. Wellston High School earned a score of 70.45 on a scale out of 0 to 100. It says earning a spot as one of the top high schools nationally, statewide, and locally. It says Wellston High School ranked number 5,224th in nation rankings, number 193rd in Ohio high schools, and number 1 in Jackson County.
Cool.
And so just wanted to share that. They were really proud and excited about that recognition.
Yeah. Love that.
We got to talk about the world's largest acorn, Jen. So it was recently announced by the Oak Hill Chamber of Commerce that they will be receiving a $10,000 grant from the Ohio Arts Council. I believe I've been in before and maybe mentioned this. They didn't know at that time. Since then, they are going to receive that, and it's earmarked towards that project. However, there's a catch to the funding. It's a 1-for-1 grant. They have to match.
That 10,000.
So they got to come up with 10,000 in local funds. So Oak Hill Chamber President Curtis Strickland, he shared that announcement on August 31st that they could get that grant as long as they come up with the funding. They are at $4,355 raised currently.
Okay.
And I know they've had some donations since then, so I don't know what the number's at.
Okay.
But that was as of the last meeting. If you are interested in donating, you can contact the chamber. You can contact Curtis. That's 740-418-3649. And I can't remember if I've talked about this or not, but they finally released an estimated price tag for the acorn. Did we talk about this before? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was 25,000.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. So if they come up with the 10 in local funds and they get the 10 in grant, there's some other grant funds that they are going to pursue, and they're hoping for some more donations come in. I did see that there was some folks out there doing kind of like a Oak Hill High School alumni challenge. They're like, hey, let's do a challenge, get some money raised for this acorn.
How do you donate once again?
You can give Curtis Strickland, he's the president, a call, 740-418-3649. There are donation forms available on the Oak Hill Chamber of Commerce Facebook page. I know that there's a lot that goes into making something like this. The folks over at Romar Metal Fabricating have been working on a model. And I'm still waiting to see the model, but they're working with a graphic designer. The portion that they're having the hardest part is the top of it because of where it's textured. So they're still trying to work on that. But they still hope to get this project done by the end of the year. Because, the Oak Hill, Village of Oak Hill is celebrating its 150th anniversary, its sesquicentennial. So, just wanted to mention that they did get that grant funding. Well, potentially get that grant funding.
Just got to match it. Yeah.
Let's see. We got a couple minutes here. Let me rifle through my stack like Pete does and mention some upcoming stuff. So Wilson.
I mean, if you don't have anything else, we could just fire the cannon for 7 more
fire
minutes.
the cannon again.
Fire in the hole!
So what Wellston City Council normally meets on the first and third Thursday of the month.
Mhm.
So tonight is one of their meeting nights. I was informed yesterday that meeting has been canceled and will not be rescheduled.
Okay.
So their next scheduled meeting will be on Thursday, September 21st at 7 p.m. and that's held in the Wellston City Council chambers on the second floor of the Wellston City building. Those meetings are open to the public.
Very cool.
Still going to give a pitch out there for the Victory Grange. They're still requesting volunteers for the annual apple butter making efforts. And they will be making apple butter at the Grange Hall on Pattinsville Road on tomorrow, Friday,
Yes.
September 8th, Saturday, September 9th, and then again on Monday, September 18th. They always make a batch ahead of time
Yes.
before the
To
festival
get the Apple Festival started.
to get it rolling.
And
Yeah.
then- yeah.
And then they make, they can always use volunteers up there because they make
Yes.
pots of it during the festival. So if you're interested in that or have any questions, you can call the Victory Grange 740-286-3099. This weekend, the Jackson County Dog Pound will be holding its yard sale.
Okay.
That'll be taking place at the Christ Church of Jackson on Portsmouth Street, and they will start preparations for the sale tomorrow, Friday, September 8th. If anybody has any donations, they will accept those from 2 to 6 p.m. They'll accept most donations except clothing. They're not looking for any
Okay, no
clothing,
clothes.
but anything else, I guess they'll take.
Okay.
You can drop it off there at the church. The yard sale will be held on Saturday, September 9th from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. If you have any questions or would like to help volunteer, you can contact Candy Austin by email. And the email, it's ams16029cb@aol.com. So got one of those old AOL emails.
Woof.
Woof. Coming up here.
It's all right, Dylan, if you didn't catch all that.
It's all right. It's a mouthful. You can if you're interested, you can look it up on the telegramnews.com.
Yeah, or just go to the Dog Pound site. I'm sure it's on there.
You can probably get a hold of somebody that way as well on their Facebook page. Coming up here in a few weekends, the Jackson Lions Club will be having its annual fall mum sale. That'll happen on Saturday, September 16th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And the sale will take place right out here in our parking lot here at the Stockmeister Plaza.
Okay.
That's 708 East Main Street here in Jackson. Available will be a variety of 12-inch mums for $25 each.
Okay.
The collars include red, white, purple, yellow, orange, and they also have tricolored.
Oh, fancy.
The mums will be provided by Lucy's Greenhouse, and the money proceeds from the project will be used to provide gas cards for families needing to travel for pediatric cancer treatment.
Gotcha.
So, also coming up here in a few weeks, the Lillian Jones Museum will be planting a tree in honor of the late Janet Regal.
Okay.
So that'll take place on Monday, September 18th at 6:30 p.m. The event will be on the front lawn of the museum there at 75 Broadway Street in Jackson. Regal passed away at the age of 90 earlier this year on January 9th, 2023. The museum will be revealing a plaque in addition to planting the tree and Regal's, for her service to the museum. Regal was a close friend to the late Lillian Jones, who left her home to the city of Jackson as the museum. And Regal had served on that as board president of the Lillian Jones Museum up until 2016. So she had put a lot of time in there.
That's awesome.
We got 2 more minutes. Let's see. Got a couple more little notices we can get into here. The Oak Hill School Board meeting for this month has been changed. They typically meet on the 3rd Wednesday of the month, but it has been moved to Wednesday, September 27th at 5:30 p.m. at the Oak Hill Middle High School Library. And those meetings are open to the public.
Okay.
Let me see. We got 1 more minute. Let's talk football.
Ooh.
Sports ball,
Sports ball.
as I like to call it. We'll look at the schedule here. So Jackson will be away at Western Brown today at 7 o'clock is the kick, or not today,
Tomorrow.
At
Yeah.
7 o'clock used to being here on Fridays. Vinton County will be away at Meigs at 7 o'clock. Wellston will be home versus Portsmouth West at 7 o'clock. And the Oak Hill game that was away at Menford has been canceled. A little bit about that. It was canceled because there's a number of the Oak Hill football players with injuries. So the school district decided to cancel that game, for the good of the students and the athletes there.
Makes sense.
So that makes sense. And we're at time.
We
Jen.
made it.
We made it.
Hey. Well, very good. Well, Jeremiah,
That was
I'm
mouthful.
Yes, it was.
We got look, and I got leftovers.
You have more. I'm so glad that you all survived the cannon fire.
Yes, it was fun.
Yes. And if you haven't been up to Wellston to check out the Ohio Hill Country Festival, please do. Don't forget Homegrown Happy Hour at Rowdy's tonight,
Yes.
7 p.m.
Oh, and the thing uptown too.
And the Chamber of Commerce, Faith and Fitness, a whole lot of people
That
putting
sidewalk
on
sale.
our sidewalk market.
I got the Touch a Truck tonight, I believe.
Touch a Truck for the kids.
Yes.
The dog pound will be there. I know there will also be a farmer's market in our empty lot there beside our production facility. So if you want to, pick up some veggies and things like that, the Webbers will be there doing that.
Oh, okay.
So, and I think they have like 80 vendors.
That's
going
lot.
to be set up in downtown Jackson tonight.
Wow.
So
It's gonna be a busy
wild.
place.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be very, very fun. Bring the kids. They can play on the, different trucks, the EMS and the fire trucks and all of that cool stuff. And they'll really enjoy it as well. So just good time. There's all kind of music going on,
Right.
food. So there you go. Really cool stuff. All right. Well, have a great day, everyone. Hope you get out and about wherever you choose to be tonight. You could probably hit all of the places. And we'll be back tomorrow. Our guest on the show tomorrow will be Mark Carman. And we're going to talk about all
Carman
all
the
kind of
Carman.
fun things there. Yes, absolutely. So we'll see you then. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
This just in.
The Telegram News has a new website.
TheTelegramNews.com.
Same dedicated coverage.
Same trustworthy news with a brand new look.
Covering Jackson and Vinton counties and surrounding areas.
Locally owned and operated, TheTelegramNews.com has its finger on the pulse of the community.
Stay up to date on local events, high school sports, and breaking news.
TheTelegramNews.com.
Subscribe today at TheTelegramNews.com.
Check it out.